We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Friday, December 5th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Ki.
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday! And also Moonju's with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So it's Friday, the last day of the work week, a time to wrap up work and start thinking about the weekend ahead. And with the year coming to a close, many of us are also start thinking about religious and cultural events. And here in Korea, we enjoy freedom of religion, and there's no official state religion, but individuals do. A lot of people have religions themselves. So Ki, do you have a religion?
Do I look like to have a religion?
It's you.
Yes, I'm a Christian. To be specific, I'm a Presbyterian. I used to be 교회 오빠, leading the church choir, being a leader at the gospel bands, and leading the worships. But since I started my career, I was even getting a job for the weekend as well, and it was hard for me to attend Sunday service regularly. So right now, I just stay at home and try to pray and read some Bibles if I have time, but that's pretty much about it.
That's really admirable that you make time to do that. So what about you, Moonju? Do you have a religion?
I don't have a religion just because I didn't really find a need for it. But I do find many people find religions when life isn't going well or if they need some psychological support. And I found other ways to ease my concerns. So that's why I think I don't have a religion quite yet now. But I do understand why people have a religion because, you know, I sometimes also go to temple if I really need to find some peace in my mind. So I think at the end of the day, it's kind of difference in how they want to settle their minds, whether it's from religion or it's from the other things that they have found their own selves. Yeah.
Right, like you said, I feel like a lot of reason why people turn to religion is to find solace. But now there's more shift towards, there's more people like Moonju these days actually. So we're going to dive deeper into this topic. But first, let's take a look at the screen. Religion has shaped history. It has built kingdoms and laid the foundations of civilizations. Much of it comes from a fundamental human desire to believe in something larger than ourselves. But for millennials and Gen Zs, that connection is changing. Many no longer identify with religion, and their views on faith are shifting. Today on News Generation, we take a closer look at this trend in Korea, exploring what religion means to young people today and how it might evolve in the future. So as we just saw in a video, while religion isn't disappearing, it's evolving, especially among the younger generations. And this reflects a global pattern with many choosing to move away from organized religion altogether. But what's it like here in Korea?
Yeah, while de-religion movements have been unfolding worldwide, South Korea shows a distinct trend here regarding the de-religion, especially among younger generations. In fact, nearly 70% of people in their 20s, as you can see from our screen here, are reporting that they have no religion, showing the highest proportion across all age groups here in South Korea, with Protestantism, Buddhism, and Catholicism falling behind. Among older generations, however, these kind of three faiths hold a higher share of believers. So if we take all together, the data suggests that the de-religion movement in South Korea is gaining significant movement from younger generations.
I mean, 70% of young people and people in their 20s identifying as non-religious, that's a pretty big number, and it really shows how Korea stands out even in the global trend of decline in people identifying themselves with a religion. So speaking of which, so how is this trend affecting religious communities themselves? We talked about people who actually identify themselves. What about people who are actually entering the religious faith?
Well, as the younger generations, like Moonju said, continue to move away from the religion, many faith communities are now facing a decline and aging of their prospective clergy. So for the first time in history, Chongshin University, 한국 총신대, a representative Christian school in South Korea, where they nurture future pastors, failed to fill its freshman class quota. In the 조계 order, 조계사, a representative Buddhist altar in Korea, and the only Buddhist order that trains and commissions military chaplains. The number of new monks has dropped by whopping 79% over the past 12 years, and the Catholic Church has seen a 36% increase in new priests over the last decade.
And I think what's striking about that is it's not just one religion. You mentioned, like, it's Buddhism and also Catholic as well.
Right.
So why is this happening, Woon-jun?
One survey found that the leading reason why people identify as non-religious is just very simple lack of interest. Many feel that institutional religions no longer kind of meet their spiritual nor the psychological needs that they need. And as a result, they see very little reason to stay engaged with the religions. The second most common response was distrust and disappointment in religion. Negative perceptions have grown continuously, fueled by issues such as financial corruption, disputes over ecclesiastical authority, and even the sexual harassment scandals and the insistence on in-person service during the COVID-19 era. Altogether, these kind of controversies have reinforced skepticism and expanded the reach of the religion movement among younger generations.
So it sounds like it's not some dramatic reasons, but it's more like a shift towards a simply lack of interest in religion itself. And the fact that scandals and controversies within religious institutions are affecting trust makes a lot of sense. So it's interesting to see how social issues and personal perceptions are reshaping attitudes towards faith. So beyond disinterest or distrust, are there other reasons why young people might want to stay away from religion these days, Kate?
Sure. The same exact survey also pointed out to other reasons, such as quote unquote, I never developed real faith, or others said, I don't want to feel tied down. In Protestant communities, there's even a well-known group called Canon Christians, people like me who no longer attend church but still identify as Protestant. They now make up nearly 30% of the entire Protestant population. With my work, I wasn't able to attend the Sunday worship regularly. Of course, like I said before, and the COVID pandemic naturally got me into the online or self-worship service. And with more single-person households and a growing culture of individualism, living alone has become common, and many people feel reluctant to engage in religious activities that require forming and maintaining relationships with a large community. As a matter of fact, just like I said, I am a Christian and I'm an outgoing person, a big letter E type. I wouldn't have any problems with social gathering within the religious community, but sometimes religious communities seek for family-like relations, or even deeper, as they say they're spiritually connected or religiously connected. It could make some people very uncomfortable.
Right, and it also depends on people's personality as well, like you said. So, I mean, it's all really interesting. It's not just disinterest or distrust, but also desire for personal freedom and boundaries that's shaping religious behavior. And with the rise of single-person households and more individualistic lifestyles, it makes sense that communal religion activities might feel less appealing. So it really shows how broader social trends are influencing not just religious affiliation, but how people choose to practice or not practice their faith. So we wanted to know what you think too. So we asked on the Arirang News YouTube channel, what is your religious affiliation? So here's what the results showed. So the largest group at 37% said they have a religion but not active. This is followed by 30% who said they have a religion and are actively involved. Next, 17% report having no religion at all, and finally 16% said they don't have a religion but are still interested in religious ideas. So there are different perspectives on this, but we wanted to get a first-hand view on this. So we're going to speak to a Buddhist religious leader. And that conversation will come right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Hyunmin Sunim, originally from Poland, now serving in Korea as a member of the Buddhist clergy. So hello, thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So to get right into this, so have you noticed this said decline in the number of young people?
Of course, it's natural process. These days, first of all, have to investigate what the religion means. It's a pepperization of the religiosus. It's a Latin and Greek name for relying, to go back to your original nature. And every religion is just pointing on it's like ashes. But we are not interested in the transferring the ashes. We are interested in transferring the fire to the next generation. And then when you try to only serve people ashes, I'm not surprised they don't follow this one, because they are not interested. They have better toys. Religion is like a toy to make you easy to find yourself. It's just kind of written down in the scripture or rituals or something. But this is not the point. Point is why. What is the direction of the human? Now, everybody understands everything, so religion is not interesting at all. And I absolutely agree with the young people, because they know everything. They know better than me, Buddhists. So why follow something which is kind of like very murky? They understand everything, they are educated, they are great, they have beautiful life, they don't have to search for food like, people during yoga time in India. They have everything delivered, and this comfort is gonna kill them. Because when is the comfort, there is no question why I come to this world. Then, very easy, everybody sleep. But there is a wonderful thing, they don't believe anything. I love it, because this is great. But it's not constructional. Because don't believe in anything, the meaning the doubt in this existence have to be positive. The meaning, what is my life? How can I live correctly? What is my feelings? What is my response for the neighbors, for the another human? If they don't have it, then they just sleep in the like a cocoon of the comfort, and that's it. But absolutely, I love people who don't believe anything. Me too. I don't believe anything. That's why I become Buddhist monk. Otherwise, I cannot, because there is not a point of believing anything. We are seekers, not believers.
Thank you. So I think
in religion has only seeking for something, that is a lie. When it's believing something, sooner or later gonna die.
Right, thank you. You sort of answered in your first question, but are there some of the main reasons? Can you redefine them, if any, why many young people are choosing to step away from the religion?
Of course, because I told you, this is very simple. Today, nobody is fooled by anything, because everybody understands everything. But the point is, do they understand themselves?
Yeah, so our last question for you today was, what efforts our religious institutions are making to engage and attract younger members in this kind of their different lifestyle patterns?
When my teacher went to United States, he didn't go to teach anything. He went over there to learn. So our duty is absolutely learn what is the new generation needs. And it's not based on the transferring the ashes. It's transferring on the perceiving where is the life, where is the light, where is the fire, what they need exactly. Because everybody understands everything, the meaning they have a constipation. Everybody consume for tetrabytes of the information every second. What is the result? Our mind is completely in constipation, just like you eat food too much. So what you have to do, respond for this situation. And of course, we have a techniques to do that. And religion is one of the techniques, but presentation of the techniques not compatible with the modern society is just wasting the time.
I agree. I think that you brought up really good things for us to consider. It's really inspirational. Your story is also really inspirational, and a great reminder how it's important to continue to ask questions, continue to seek as well. And thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insight with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just spoke with a member of the Buddhist community who helped us understand why so many young people are choosing to step away from organized religion and what different religious groups are doing to try to reconnect with younger followers. And it really highlights how much the landscape of faith is shifting for this generation. So that brings us to a broader question. So in this changing environment, what does religion actually mean to young people today, Ki?
Well, it varies from person to person, but for many Korean MZers, religion is no longer about belonging to an institution or learning doctrine inside a community. Like our great Hyun-Moon S님 said, it's not interesting. So instead, it has become a personal search for meaning, finding philosophical or spiritual guidance within their own lives. And in reality, a lot of MZers are actively engaging with Buddhist culture. The reason is very simple. Buddhism's focus on self-reflection and personal discipline resonates with younger generations as a kind of practical life philosophy. So it's like our Hyun-Moon S님 said, they're not looking for believers, but it's more of a seekers of their life value.
I think the Buddhist religion is doing actually a great job in appealing to younger people as kind of like a practical philosophy, and it really represents how younger generations are approaching spirituality in a more individualized way, and it reflects this broader trend of self-exploration and self-development that's so common among millennials and Gen Zs. So now, beyond this search for personal meaning, how are ideas like individuality and personal expression shaping the way young people relate to religion these days, Minju?
Yeah, they are definitely shaping the way. Religions are like no longer aligned with the MZ generation, a group that values expressing and respecting the individuality. For many, faith has shifted into a source of just a cultural enjoyment. They attend Buddhist expositions, much like they celebrate the Christmas season each year, which we're looking ahead in like 3 weeks maybe. And in this way, the religion has increasingly become a cultural experience for them. So something to be enjoyed regardless of their personal beliefs. So this is how they have changed it these days, yeah.
I think both, like a lot of religions are doing that, like Christianity and Buddhism both. Like I went to a temple actually during the weekend and I saw how they were selling keychains of like cute bears dressed up as monks. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff. So in that same line, so what kind of changes do you anticipate in the way future generations engage with religion, Ki?
Sure. So religion is basically a belief. It's a long journey or learning how you behave and value and what sort of life you seek and pursue. There are also so many different religions right now, and even within the Christianity and Buddhism, there's so many different denominations. So finding the right religion for anybody is hard and very important. But one thing I really hope is that I really wish the religion would be separated from any political scenes. Unless any specific religion is being threatened by the government policy, they should be separated. That's what I believe. And I've seen some people taking advantages of their believers. And this is for sure another reason why younger generations are walking away from the religion. When I was going to church regularly when I was young, they were looking for a way to lure more younger people. And church I went to was superbly conservative one. But after months of begging, convincing, and negotiating, I finally was able to install a drum set in the church so we can play trendier gospel. So church, temple, shrine, wherever you go, they need to change and try to understand, be more open-minded to the younger generation.
I think that's really cool. A church, I'm also a Christian, so I belong to a church. And one thing my church also did that kind of was more, I guess, trendy is that, like for religious communities are known to kind of pressure people into attending every week.
Right.
So what my church does is like they don't contact you ever, even if you don't show up. And I feel like having that freedom, giving people that freedom actually makes them more into that religion as well. So what are your thoughts on this, Minju?
Yeah, I agree with what Kim just mentioned. The world has changed and younger generations are increasingly determined to express themselves regardless of how they are viewed by others. Following this trend, I believe religions will need to become more inclusive and open-minded in order to, attract new young believers, just as Buddhism once did by, embracing figures like Eugene Snim. At the end of the day, all religions now have to find ways to engage and lure young members if they really want to sustain their long-standing tradition as a religion.
Well said, well said. So religion can be a lifeline for people going through difficult moments, offering comfort and a sense of stability. And because it holds such deep meaning for many, respecting each person's beliefs is essential. At the same time, religion isn't something fixed in one era. It grows and adapts alongside the people who practice it. Today, it's clear that faith is no longer a one-size-fits-all experience, and young people are redefining religion in real time, helping it evolve without losing its core identity and opening doors to a more inclusive future. So that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and discussions. A big thanks to Ki.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in, and also Bunju.
Thanks for having me today.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have the best day. We are News Generation.